Welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith. We're coming to you from the Texas Computer Education Association Conference for 2013 here in Austin, Texas.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and we are here with Sam Farsaii from Irving ISD.
Where he's Director of Instructional Technology.
What a cool title, right?
Yeah, great title. And Sam has been telling me about this outstanding project he has, or the district has, with the country of India. What is this project? What's the purpose, and how did it get started?
I keep hearing little snippets about it, and I'm dying to know the full story. Richard won't tell me the full story.
Okay. Well, looking at the SD standards, recognizing that global collaboration opportunity is important for our students, we're always seeking for opportunities to connect with other nations in order to start a project, be it competitive or in collaboration.
Irving Independent School District.
That's correct.
That's very unusual for a school district to be looking for worldwide projects, let me tell you.
But it's exciting, and it's not just the digital world from what I understand, it's actually face-to-face. Y'all are traveling back and forth?
Absolutely. Well, we started with trying to find some collaborative projects where students are involved in making the learning more authentic. So we started with one of our middle schools where it's a net zero school, where school produces as much energy as it consumes. So our idea was, what are some projects that we can start working with India? And we have looked at some cultural exchanges opportunities, such as looking at in Halloween, we had a video conference with them, live conference, and our students had their faces painted, and then they were asking, what is that all about?
That must have been something.
Right.
So you're working with a particular school in India?
That's correct. It's Sarana School. It's a foundation school that is supported by an IT company in India that we are very proud of collaborating with. And this just gives us our students a chance to explore beyond the four walls of their classroom.
Now, what is a foundation school? People in America may not understand what a foundation school is.
It's an IT company that is supporting a school as a foundation to help fund the students participating in those schools.
So how did you work with, was it Chennai School, right?
That's correct.
What were some of the things that you did with the school?
Well, we are working on several projects. We have looked at opportunities to look at food waste. In the United States, there's a lot of food waste because of abundance of resources. And in India, there's food waste just as well because of lack of resources and technology to bring their products to flourish in a timely manner. So same problem, but from different angles. So our students are exploring that project right now. Another one is from India's perspective. That was a project that we came up with. One India came up with actually shortage of water, and the issues that's going to bring about for next decade. Well, in Texas, we're also facing a shortage of water. So it's a matter of sitting down, synergizing to see what problems they have, what problems we have, and where do we have a common denominator.
Were these technology-based projects?
Well, we try not to start with technology to begin with. We try to find a real-world problem, and if you think of a project at a higher-level thinking scale, naturally technology just happens, so you don't have to force technology. Technology is a natural part of it. We use Blackboard Collaborate in order to use our video conferencing. We use Edmodo as a tool for communication of projects and discussions between our students. In addition, we had another project just recently between us and India, and that was a robotics project. They were very excited about creating a robotics club, and so were we. So we decided to come up with an invention that helps change our communities. And they had to come up with a project, we had to come up with a project, and we had judges from India and United States to look at those based on a rubric and evaluate them and find the best projects and reward them.
So actually, this is a situation where you have community development going in both ways, an international community development project where Indian students are helping solve problems in the United States, and American students are helping to solve problems in India.
Exactly, because it is easy to look at some of the challenges that you have, but if you look at somebody else's problem from an outside perspective, it just brings a new dimension, and hopefully it gives them an idea of looking at things from a different angle in order to help them be inspired to solve the problem from a different perspective.
And were there any problems in communication?
Yes.
Both technical and social?
Well, definitely. There are some challenges. For example, time difference is a big problem because it's almost 12 hours apart. So it is very difficult. If it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, it's 8 o'clock at night there. So the challenge is when do you find the time? And Indian school has been gracious enough to stay after hours to make sure that we're able to meet with them early on.
Aren't they wonderful?
Yes, they're very eager and enthusiastic in collaboration, and they seek opportunities to do that. Another challenge has been actually communication via audio. Sometimes video conference connections may not be well, so you have to consider that. Other times, the accents between Texas accent versus accent from India is a challenge. And,
That must be something.
And it's a two-way
Especially
problem.
with the Texas accent.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it's so thick.
So it's a two-way problem. So we make sure that anything that is communicated back and forth, it's also typed in text format, so we can immediately see what the conversation is all
yes,
about, so we
that's-
don't miss out on anything.
That's actually an excellent solution. And in India, were both the students and the faculty in the Indian school in Chennai, did they all speak English?
Well, English is their business language, although they have a lot of local languages. I know in Chennai, India, they speak at least 3 different languages, Tamil, Hindu, as well as Hindu language and English. So everybody speaks at least 3 languages. So students come to school to learn English, and this gives them an opportunity to practice their conversations as well.
So there is a lot of synchronous communications going back and forth. Is it mainly between the adults, the instructors, and the leadership, or are the students also involved in the synchronous events?
The teachers and project managers, they plan in advance what the project should be. They come up with a timeline of how things should happen.
From
and
both
what-
from both sides?
From both sides. They collaborate, negotiate. For example, we need to make sure that our holidays does not match their holidays and where the gaps are in order to plan according.
So were they using Blackboard Collaborate to do that planning?
That's correct. Some of that is done with Blackboard, other via video conferencing back and forth. Other parts of it is done via email, sometimes via chat session as needed as well.
So is there an issue with the technology going back and forth, or is everything pretty seamless at that point? I'm dying to ask you this part. All of the tools that each group is using, are they all digital, or do you have cute little care packages going back and forth for usage and cute little gifts that the students want to give each other and things
Well,
like that?
so far we have remained with the digital collaboration and communication, although I've had the opportunity actually to go and visit India this past Christmas, and we brought some gifts and we exchanged. We took an iPad mini as a gift from us, and we
Nice
were welcomed.
gift.
Yes.
Well, this is an interesting concept. So the project was arranged entirely online,
That's correct.
and so no faculty or staff from Irving ISD had gone over to India to help with the planning for this project.
That's correct.
And nobody from India came over to the United States.
That's correct.
So not only was there a problem with the technical communication, basic communication that was overcome, you were also able to facilitate intercultural conversation or communication, even though you were doing this online entirely through technology.
Through technology.
How did the schools find each other?
Well, we had an opportunity while I was traveling overseas. I just, through accident, actually, communicating with the head of the foundation for our sister school in India, in Chennai, and this is Mr. Sarana, and he showed interest in learning about U.S. schools, and I invited him to come and visit some of our schools. He was very impressed with the way we implement technology, and in comparison to what they're doing, which is, traditional schooling that is expected in most overseas countries. So we know how hard their students work and how dedicated they are. And on the other hand, we in the U.S. are always seeking about finding creative ways of implementing instruction and having the resources, staff development, as tools. So I think there is a mutual benefit in this collaboration. We can learn from them as well as they can learn from us. And same thing with our students. I think their students are totally dedicated to learning, and if our students are exposed to that, some of that may rub off.
I wanted to ask you, are you setting up a little PAL type situation where
Absolutely,
each
students.
person is partnering with someone else over there?
We're using Edmodo, and students are actually naturally finding friends and collaborators as well. It's
That's
still
cool.
at early stages, but it's
No,
developing.
that's great. Well, Sam, it's been great talking to you about this project, but we have run out of time.
Oh, so many more questions.
I know there's more questions, but we have to stop for now. You've been with us on Technology and Education Today, which is a production of the School of Education of the University of Houston Clear Lake, the Instructional Design and Technology Program. I'm Richard Smith.
I'm Caroline Crawford.
And we've been talking with Sam Farsaii, the Director of Instructional Technology for Irving Independent School District in Irving, Texas.
The man's brilliant. Bye! That's true. Might as well say.